Area of circles is what we're looking at in this video. It's split into 4 parts. So we're first going to start off by finding the area of a circle given the radius, then looking at finding the area of a semicircle, and then moving on to slightly more difficult questions like this one, and then finally looking at questions like this involving the area of a circle. So the way my videos work, I'm going to do the example on the left, which is I do. You are then going to press pause and have a go at the example on the right, which is you do. So here we've been asked to find the area of a circle. Now to find the area of a circle, you use the formula area is equal to pi r squared. So the radius here is 5, so this is going to be pi times 5 squared. And if I type that into my calculator, I will do pi times 5 squared, and two decimal places, the answer is 78.54 centimeters squared. So hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go at this example here. So area is pi r squared, so that's just going to be pi times 3 squared. So if I type that into my calculator to 2 decimal places, the answer I get is 28.27 centimeters squared. Moving on, again, exact same question here. So the area of a circle is pi r squared. Now notice in the question, we have been given the diameter. So to get, if the diameter is 30, we can just half that to get the radius. So the radius is going to be 15. So that's just going to be pi times 15 squared. So that becomes, again, type that into a calculator. That becomes 706.86 to 2 decimal places. And again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go. So the radius is just going to be half of that. So area is pi r squared, which is pi times 4 squared. And if you type that into your calculator, you get an answer of 50.27 centimeters squared. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now moving on, we are looking at finding the area of a semicircle. So semicircle is just half of a circle. So if the area of a circle is pi r squared, the area of a semicircle is just a half of that. So again, we do the same thing. So we do pi times radius squared, and we divide the whole thing by 2. So if I now type that into my calculator, so it'll be pi times 10 squared, and divide the whole thing by 2, I get an answer of 157.08 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. Again, on the right, we have area is pi r squared, and because it's a half a circle, we're just going to half that. Now here we've been given a diameter of 16, which means the radius is 8. So that's going to be pi times 8 squared over 2, and that becomes pi times 8 squared over 2, which is 100.53 centimeters squared. Moving on, so here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now, we're not using a calculator anymore. So notice it says, find the area of a circle, give your answer in terms of pi. So these are questions that we do without a calculator. So to find the area of a circle, we know the formula is pi r squared. Now, we can just do pi times 9 squared, which means our final answer is just going to be 81 pi. That's how we leave that. Now on the right, again, area of a circle is pi r squared, but the question gives us a diameter. So half that to get the radius, and then we get pi times 4 squared, and that just becomes 16 pi. Moving on, here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now we're looking at finding the area of a semicircle, leaving the answer in terms of pi. Now remember, the formula here is just pi r squared, and you divide the whole thing by 2 because it's half a circle. So pi times 10 squared divided by 2, which becomes 100 pi divided by 2, which can be written as 50 pi centimeters squared. Don't forget the units. And again here, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go. So we have a diameter of 16, we get the radius as 8. So area of a circle is pi r squared. Because it's a semicircle, we half that. So that then becomes pi times 8 squared over 2. 8 squared is 64, so 64 pi over 2, which can be written as 32 pi centimeters squared. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now moving on, we are looking at hard questions with a calculator. So here we have a pond, and around the pond we have a path. So the pond is from here to here, and then around the pond we have this path here. That is from here all the way down to here. So they want to know the area of the path is what the question is asking for. It's saying, can you tell me what the area of the path is around the circle? Now, to find the area of the path, we've first got to find the area of this circle. Then we've got to find the area of the big circle, and we've got to take them away. So we are going to say the pond, which is 6 meters. So the area here is pi times 6 squared. So pi r squared. So if we type that into a calculator, we get pi times 6 squared, which is 36 pi. And we can just leave this as 36 pi for now. So we don't have to worry too much about rounding stuff. We will give our answer to 2 decimal places, but for now we can leave this as that. And then we have the pond plus the path. That makes up the 8 meters. So the area here is going to be pi times 8 squared, which is 64 pi. Now to get the area of just the path, we're going to take these two away. So we're going to do 64 pi, take away 36 pi. So if you do 64, take away 36, you end up with 28 pi. And now because it wants it to 2 decimal places, you can just do 28 times pi on your calculator, and we get an answer of 87.96 centimeters squared. So hopefully that's clear. We started off by finding the area of the pond, which is the blue bit. And then once we found the area of the pond, we found the area of the whole thing, which included the pond and the path. And then we took them away to get just the path. So hopefully you've pressed pause and had a go at the example on the right. So the pond, which is 4 meters. So the area here is just going to be pi r squared, which is 16 pi. And then we have the pond plus the path, which is 7 meters. So the area here is going to be pi times 7 squared, which is 49 pi. And we're going to take them both away, which is 49 pi minus 16 pi. So here we can just do 49 take away 16, and then that gives us 33 pi. And it wants it to 2 decimal places, so 33 times pi, that becomes 103.67 centimeters squared. So moving on, a slightly different question now. So we have a circular pond enclosed by a square. The green sections are grass. Work out the area of the grass. So now to find the area of the grass, it's a similar approach. So we're going to find the area of the circle first. So circle, which is 4 meters in radius. So that is going to be area is pi r squared, which is 16 pi. And then we're going to find the area of the square. Now, because it's a square, we know both sides are going to be 10 meters. So the area here is going to be 10 times 10, which is 100 centimeters squared. So now we have the area of the circle and the square. We're going to take them away. So we're going to do 100, take away 16 pi. And 100 take away 16 pi gives us 49.73. We don't want to round yet because this isn't the final answer. No, in fact, this is the final answer. What am I talking about? Yep, we can round just here. And that is the area of the grass. That is what's left over. So just to recap that, we found the area of the circle. Then we found the area of the square, which has everything inside it. And then we took them away, and that tells us what's left over here. So again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a got an example on the right. So we'd start off the same way. Area of the circle. Now notice there's only one section of grass in this. So we're only finding one section of grass. So area of a circle is area pi r squared, which is 25 pi. The area of the square is 15 times 15. And 15 times 15 is 225. Now we're going to take them both away. So 225 take away 25 pi. And that gives me, again, here we're not going to round, the 146.6401837. And now notice what we've found here, this number, is basically what all of these sections are. We just want to know what one of them are. So we're going to divide it by 4. So on your calculator, you can just do something like ANS divided by 4. So if I just do answer, divide that by 4, I get the answer as 36.62 centimeters squared. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now, if you would like some more practice, I've linked it down. I've linked the worksheet down in the comments below, so do check it out. And if you found this video useful, I've got loads of other content like this on my channel.